Eddie Hearn plans to leave the stadium and refuse to watch Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, as he says. MMA icon Dan Hardy believes Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson's fight still may not happen. Hardy, who fought in the UFC for several years, admits he wouldn't be surprised if things got derailed. I honestly think a lot of the fun, poking and fat suits and stuff that we are seeing now is working against him a little bit because Mike Tyson is held in such high regard. It wouldn't surprise me if that fight falls away and Mike is somewhat protected by the people around him, because I do think that would be worth considering for them. There are so many people Jake Paul can fight. He doesn't need to be fighting Mike Tyson. If he was calling him out 10 years ago, 15 years ago, fair enough. This version of Mike is not the person who represents who Mike Tyson was when he was at the top of the sport. But his physical condition has declined again since, and he has worryingly admitted he has been struggling with the intensity of camp. However, he insists he is willing to take the risk. "I could be waiting on a check every day from cannabis," Tyson said. "That's bulls asterisk 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 for me. I'm a man. I want to go out there and I want to expose myself to risk. Sometimes I want to see who I am. I want to see what I'm made out of. I want to perform in front of the world. To me, that's all I ever knew how to do since I was 14. This fight is not going to change my life financially enough. This is just what I want to do." The British promoter has been highly critical of the controversial clash, but ironically will be in attendance at the Atant Stadium on November 15th. This is because his charge, Katie Taylor, is set for a career-defining rematch with Amanda Serrano in the co-main event. Regardless, Hearn does not intend to support the fight that will follow it. "It's difficult to give a negative opinion because you become a hater," Hearn said about Tyson versus Paul. "But I get asked about it and I'm just giving you my honest opinion. I don't like it. I think it's a huge shame that someone like Mike Tyson, who is one of the biggest legends of the sport of boxing, comes back 20 years after everybody knew he shouldn't be boxing anymore. He comes back 20 years on at 55, or however old he is. At this point, Hearn was informed Tyson is 58 years of age. The promoter reacted, "He's 58? Jesus Christ, he's nearly 60. Like, you have no respect for the sport of boxing if you put Mike Tyson in a ring at 58 years of age. And if he gets hurt, then it's on those people. I think it's very sad for the sport of boxing." Hearn was then asked if he would indeed attend on fight night. "Yeah, but I'm not staying for that," he replied. I quote, "LL watch Katie Taylor, and then I'll leave. I can't watch that." However, after verification by media outlets, it became evident that this headline was nothing more than a fabrication, lacking any factual basis. Stay tuned, because we're breaking down everything from the latest updates to what might have caused this potential cancellation and what it all means for the sport of boxing. Let's start by setting the stage. The buzz surrounding a possible fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson began several months ago. It was an idea that quickly gained traction, fueled by Jake Paul's growing reputation as a controversial yet undeniably popular figure in the boxing world. The YouTube star has been making waves with his recent victories against MMA fighters and ex-NBA players, amassing a record that some would argue is respectable for a celebrity-turned-boxer. On the other side, we have Mike Tyson, a legend in the sport. Known as Iron Mike, Tyson's career has been nothing short of spectacular, with a legacy of vicious knockouts and a reputation for being one of the most feared fighters in history. The fight, had it been confirmed, promised to be a spectacle. It wasn't just about skill and experience versus youth and popularity. It was about two very different personalities clashing in an event that would draw mainstream attention. Tyson, even at 58 years old, still possesses an aura of ferocity, while Jake Paul has been known for his mind games, showmanship, and the ability to draw in massive pay-per-view audiences. Fans and media alike were quick to speculate on who would come out on top, making this one of the most talked-about potential fights in recent history. Now let's get into the current situation. The internet is flooded with claims that the fight may be canceled or at least indefinitely postponed. Several reasons have been cited for why the deal has seemingly fallen apart. Some sources close to the situation claim there are contractual disagreements over the purse split and revenue distribution. This wouldn't be surprising, as both fighters have massive drawing power, and negotiating terms for an event of this magnitude can be incredibly complex. Others suggest there could be health-related concerns, particularly on Tyson's side. Even though he has been in incredible shape for his age and looked sharp in his 2020 exhibition bout against Roy Jones Jr., it's not unheard of for medical clearances to become an issue. Fighting at 58 years old carries significant risks, and the authorities involved may be cautious about sanctioning a match between an aging legend and a younger, less experienced, yet hard-hitting opponent like Jake Paul. Let's break down the possible reasons behind the fight's rumored cancellation or delay. In boxing, contracts can make or break a fight. Details like purse splits, broadcasting rights, and event locations can be contentious issues. Given Jake Paul's popularity, he might demand a significant share of the revenue, whereas Tyson's camp would argue that his name alone carries just as much, if not more weight, in terms of drawing power. When both fighters are valuable assets, getting them to agree on financial terms can be challenging. As mentioned earlier, Tyson's age is a factor. Even though he has passed medical examinations for exhibitions, a fight with Jake Paul would be more high risk than his bout with Roy Jones Jr. Athletic commissions have to take into account the well-being of fighters, especially when one is nearly 60. Any injury or setback in training for Tyson could have made the bout too dangerous to proceed with. Timing is critical in the fight business. Both fighters have busy schedules, with commitments outside of boxing. Finding the right date for both camps, while also considering pay-per-view potential and marketing opportunities, may have proven difficult. Now the question is, why was Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson canceled? Are they still going to fight? Although the popular YouTuber is ready to fight, he was originally scheduled to be taking on Mike Tyson this weekend, but that fight is no longer happening. Here's all you need to know about the postponed Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight. Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson was set to be one of the biggest fights of the summer as the problem child was planning to step into the ring with one of the most menacing heavyweights of all time. Scheduled to take place at the Stadium in Texas, the show was intended to be huge, with Katie Taylor taking on Amanda Serrano on the undercard in an eagerly anticipated rematch. The whole event was called off when Tyson revealed he'd been suffering issues from an ulcer flare-up, which meant he wasn't able to train. Despite the cancellation, the show will still go on with November 15th, the new date. The event is still scheduled for the Stadium and the Taylor versus Serrano bout is also set to take place on the show. Paul will also have to deal with the threat of Mike Perry, who will be hopeful he can derail the plans of his imminent rival. So where do both fighters go from here if this fight truly doesn't happen? For Jake Paul, the options are still numerous. He could continue fighting retired MMA stars, or perhaps take on a lower-tier professional boxer. There's even talk about a rematch with Tommy Fury, who handed him his first loss. If Jake is serious about advancing his boxing career, he will need to face someone with credible boxing skills to earn the respect he seeks. As for Mike Tyson, his future in the ring remains uncertain. If this fight falls through, we may not see him compete again, unless the right opportunity arises. Tyson has expressed interest in doing more exhibition bouts, particularly for charity, which means he could still make appearances in the ring, albeit in a different capacity. So, is the fight truly canceled, or could we still see these two step into the ring? There's a lot of uncertainty right now, but one thing's for sure. If this fight happens, it's going to be one for the history books. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want more boxing updates, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a fight announcement or boxing breakdown. See you in the next one.